Okay, so let's talk about what is probably the most memorable, most ominous villain in all of Doctor Who, the Daleks. So, if you're unfamiliar with Doctor Who, this may appear at first glance to be the most anticlimactic reveal of a monster ever. The question is, how did these salt and pepper shakers of doom strike fear into the hearts of millions of viewers? And the answer is my favorite topic of all: good writing. A great writer could take a cardboard box and make it the object of complete terror, just with the story they weave around it. Think of the movie Sphere. This thing didn't even have sharp corners, but it managed to drive every character out of their mind. But anyway, let's get back to the Daleks. So, from the first series with William Hartnell to the modern episodes with David Tennant and Matt Smith, the writers of Doctor Who have steadily built up the reputation of the Daleks. In the story Genesis of the Daleks with Tom Baker, we really get to see why the Daleks are the way they are. So, originating from the war-torn planet of Skaro, we learn of the Khaleds and the Thals, two groups fighting a nuclear and chemical war against each other that's just decimating everything. If you watch Genesis of the Daleks today, you could be distracted by the low-budget effects, but they more than made up for it with good acting and gravitas. Tom Baker, who is, to me at least, the first Doctor who could genuinely pull off somber moments as effectively as humorous ones, with complete precision, does a great job at portraying the seriousness of the situation throughout the 6 episodes of Genesis of the Daleks. So anyway, the de facto leader of the Khaleds is Davros, who is essentially a mad scientist who, in his desire to promote the purity and superiority of the Khaleds, creates the Dalek, somewhat in his own image. He strips away characteristics that are viewed as weaknesses in his eyes, such as mercy or compassion, and encloses this altered life form in its own little personal tank. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, a characteristic that's present in all best villains is the complete and total inability and unwillingness to negotiate. They cannot be reasoned with and they won't stop. This is actually one of their the Daleks' defining characteristics that's shown over and over again across different seasons, and why they make the best villains list. So, okay, here's a question for all of you Doctor Who fans out there. At the end of Genesis of the Daleks, the Doctor has an option to totally wipe out the Daleks or spare them. This is actually on the cover, is that moment where he's debating what to do. And he's struggling with the morality of his choices. Should he save countless lives and wipe out the entirety of the Daleks, or should he not sort of sink to the same level as the Daleks? So what would you have done? Touch the wires or let them live? Let me know.